What's up, you beautiful Broodwar babes? How's it going? You're feeling good this week. We've got our final week of the regular season of KCM. Week 8 here with a fantastic lineup. Let's bring that up now. And see no slouches in this lineup. Just the best of the best. I'm surprised we actually haven't seen Brain just yet as a make a showing in KCM. I feel like he's definitely on a higher tier than Best. He's done really well so far in ASL, but he just hasn't made that appearance yet. Really looking forward to that when he eventually comes on. Royal Sharp Rush looking amazing. I didn't really hope for any better players there. Maybe JYJ instead of Sharp? Yeah, that might be a little bit stronger. Tomasolki, Jaedong, that is an absolute killer Zerg lineup. The best of the best there. Maybe switching out Jaedong for like Queen or something? I don't know. Still, Jaedong, really, really good. I'm gonna start out here with Best versus Royal. Royal in the bottom left, Best up here in the top right. It's like a gas steal coming out of Best. That probe was sent out right after the pylon, so not gonna mix things up too much here. Best just laying out the meta style for Protoss versus Terran here in the early game. Gonna snag this gas. Let's see if Royal cancels his SCV. Yeah, no, he actually didn't have to cancel his SCV there. Hold on a second. Really do. Maybe he canceled it just for a second. I felt like he didn't have enough money there, but he does manage to grab that refinery. Maybe slowing down his SCV production just a tad. He will not be blocked there, and that is a big moment. It shows kind of where Royal's head is at here. He doesn't want to play best game. He doesn't want to be forced into taking an early expansion. Oh, Royal, really good movement there with the SCV. That's some insane control there. Able to pick off that probe. That basically never happens because the SCV's range is so small, as a range of 0. Oh, that's incredibly hard to do. Royal pulls it off beautifully though, and finds himself in a good little advantage here. He won't be scouted for quite a while. That's not sending out any more probes on the map, just going to rely on this Dragoon when it does pop out. He sees the range being researched as well. Royal knows everything that's going on, whereas Best doesn't really know if there's a second factory or if there's a really quick command center coming down here. He didn't even see the factory go down, so kind of assume that there will be a factory, but there is some ambiguity here on the side of Best. He's not too sure what's going to happen. Throws down his own Nexus there, keeping his Dragoon at home. He's a little bit worried about a SCV getting in here. That or a Vulture running by into the main. Looks like this SCV was on a mineral walk command there and spots out a building that Best did not want to reveal. Looks like Best just cancels that. I'm assuming that was a Citadel. I doubt that that was a quick robotics, because robotics here is really normal. I doubt that you would cancel that. Probably it was a Citadel setting up Best for a some sort of DT attack, but he cancels that. He throws down a robotics there now that the SCV has been removed, and Best just going to go into a normal game from this position. A little bit behind, but not anything serious. Still a good amount of play here for both sides. We'll see how Royal does with this Vulture opener. Already getting mines at his machine shop. He has full control of the map. We'll see when he grabs an eBay, an armory on the way. So a nice quick armory here for Royal. Getting out a couple of Goliaths at this point would be very strong. It allows you to build less turrets and have that mobile defense rather than static D. There's the engineering bay. He will be adding on turrets here, but it's nice if you have a couple of Goliaths, you can add on a few less turrets, and you can also add those into your attack. Now, run by here into the natural. 2 probes have been killed. Surprisingly, doesn't dive on top of that. 2 more vultures coming in, looking for an opportunity there to run up the ramp, but Best keeps his 3rd Dragoon on that ramp, keeps himself safe. Only 2 or 3 probes end up going down in the end. And Royal loses no vultures, so a pretty good trade there for our Terran player. Starting to set up that pylon wall now. Only regretting not having that earlier. That's actually a huge supply block here for Best. You can see he's stuck at 50 of 50 supply. Throws down 2 pylons in the front, maybe getting thrown off a little bit by that run by there. Adding on even 2 more pylons, so you can see the frustration a little bit. Best not able to produce for quite a while, whereas Royal is just pumping along, getting his tank count up, running around with those vultures nicely. Looks like Best coming towards the front. 2 tanks in the back here, and siege mode just about done. I don't think that Best can get much done here. He quickly pulls these SCVs for the repair. Pretty dangerous coming forward with these tanks. Could absolutely lose one if Best decides to dive there. There's more than enough Dragoons to 2-shot those tanks, so Royal playing with fire a bit, but does get away with it. Now siege mode is done, so no more harassment can come down. Best taking a 3rd in the bottom right. Looks like Royal may indeed scout that. No, he's not going to get into that location. Pretty quick 3rd there. And Royal's actually expecting him to take a 3rd at 12 o'clock. You can see on the minimap a vulture hidden away in that corner, just waiting for the opportunity to snipe a probe. Will end up getting picked off there. And now he may be thrown off, thinking that Best's about to take that base. However, Best already with this base in the bottom right. Just about finished. He's sending the probes out. Ooh, these vultures could actually catch these probes. Like sending them around the left side, though. He really is expecting this base to be taken at 12 o'clock. Has no idea that Best is being this greedy, taking a base so quickly. And already sending a huge Maynard of probes down to that bottom right-hand corner to saturate that base. Like the first Reaver coming in with the drop now. There's no turret back behind this mineral line. That could be a problem here for Best, though he can't exactly land in that location because tanks are going to deal that damage. Maybe if he has a Zealot here to drop out first, he could get a good shot off. Zealot on the... Hitting the stop button as many times as possible there. Best sort of slowing, or excuse me, Royal slowing down the... Oh my god, went right through. Holy cow, yeah. That was a weird series of events there. Siege tanks being rapidly hit on stop position, slowing down the turning of their cannons there. Of their barrels, I guess you could say. Didn't really work out for Royal, though. I mean, it's a good move. You try to stop the tanks from firing so that once the Reaver pops out, you can actually target that Reaver and try to kill it. But Best ended up taking great advantage of that and dropped out another Zealot and then landed that amazing Reaver shot through the minerals. I'm not sure how that happened. There must be a very specific position if you drop the Reaver perfectly where the Scarab can actually go straight through the minerals. I might have seen that like once or twice before, but that was pretty much perfect. He got a ton of damage on those SCVs, so pretty good first harassment here from Best. He kept that Reaver alive as well, and he has a second shuttle out now, so he's going to be looking pretty powerful on the map. Royal's been slowed down quite a bit here, and he's planning, I think, to take a third base soon. As long as Best controls this properly, he should be able to slow it down by quite a lot. Ooh, a dropship coming over towards this third base. Okay, one cannon here. Still not very much. Like he's gonna load up and land on this right side, on the top side here. Kill as many probes as he can. That shuttle's coming down now. Should be able to prevent any further damage. Got a Reaver there? No, just pure Zealot. Back here towards the front. Oh, great shots there from Best. Killing off a tank and keeping his Reavers at full HP. Very important. Looks like Arbiter tank is on the way. Best slowing this down as much as he can. Not gonna get that next shot off. Slow, methodical movement from Royal. Pushing forward with the tanks. It's like another shot. Oh, he does take 2 hits onto that Reaver. So one of the Reavers is going to be very low, only 32 HP. But another tank goes down. So great slow play here from Best to just deny the space for as long as possible and get as many kills as he can. Looks like he will lose the Reavers now, though. Lack of attention from Best gonna cost him that Reaver. Like he will try to kill a couple more units, but does end up losing the Reaver and the shuttle for that. Well, he did his best. Was a good attempt there by Best to just slow that down as much as possible. I think all he needs to do now is bring his units out onto the map, kind of threaten Royal if he tries to push out at all, and then wait for that recall. That first recall will be huge. We've seen Best fail recalls on this map in the past. Hopefully he will be able to deal a good amount of damage with this recall. Looks like he's coming forward now, just diving on top of the tanks. Pretty good Zealot bombs here, killing off a lot of these tanks in the back, but his army moving through that right-hand pathway, very, very clumped, and he ends up losing a huge portion of his army for not much return. Royal spread out nicely here with quite a few mines, just deals with that army easily. And now Best way on the back foot here. I was expecting him to put some pressure, but not to commit fully to that sieged up army. Sieged and spread very nicely there. Royal now with an even army supply. His third base is running nicely. He's getting set up for that fourth as well. Looks like Best potentially going for a storm drop here shortly. That Arbiter, first Arbiter out on the map. He doesn't really have the army to try and utilize stasis in order to win a big fight. I think this is going to be recall, guys. I really hope this goes better or Best than the previous recall we saw on this map. That single observer recall was a huge heartbreaker there. You can see the science vessel just now popped out. It does not have EMP. It doesn't have the energy for that anyway. Here comes the Arbiter. This first recall is so important. He needs to get in here with this. There's so much damage on it. He does not get the recall. Completely Denied there. Royal in a fantastic position now. I cannot say how huge of a deal denying that first recall is. After that first recall, you have all of the tools to stop further recalls. He'll have that EMP ready by the time this Arbiter is prepped and has the energy for recall. He can completely stop that. That first recall, it means so much in this matchup. It's really your only chance to land a recall without the possibility of EMP. So the fact that he messed that up, the fact that he ran directly into Goliaths there and got completely destroyed, it just hurts so much here for Best. He is sitting on 5 bases. We have to keep that in mind at least. 5 base Terran is pretty darn scary. Looks like he's going to dive on one of these tanks, try to get the vessel as well. A great D-Matrix there. And now with no EMP, maybe he can get in here and get a good recall. We'll see. That Arbiter is coming around the side. Maybe for a stasis, actually, diving in on these tanks with the shuttles. Great pickoff, though. Royal just focusing down the shuttles so quickly. Those shuttles did almost nothing. Now, Zealots are running up here straight in the front. They're super clumped and getting pretty blasted by these tanks, but there's not too many vultures left over, so the Zealots are starting to do a pretty good amount of damage. The stasis giving at best a bit of an advantage in this fight, but now his army supply has dropped so much. He's lost a ton of Dragoons here. It's going to take a long time for Best to replenish this army. And Royal is going to be able to push forward and secure that 4th base. No problem. He's got tons of tanks left over. He's got mines ready. He's got that next science vessel as well. EMP should be ready on that. And these SCVs are being sent over. That's starting to kind of run out of time here, I feel. As Royal extends further and further on the map, he's got those 4 bases. The essential 4th base for Aaron in the late game has been secured, so he should be feeling good right now. Like Best gonna try and snag another base in the bottom right. He is gonna lose his probe though, so he won't be able to grab that easily. Like Best bringing up some Zealots here maybe in a shuttle. Okay, bringing the Zealots forward. You know, Best really doesn't use Reavers in the late game. He's more of a typical Protoss player. Snow is really the only one I've ever seen use Reavers in a shuttle, but they can be extremely useful in the late game for defending against things like these Vulture run-bys and stuff. Dropping them off at a base when you're trying to take one against even 8 or 10 Vultures. A Reaver can do so much for you to hold that off, to keep that back. One-shotting those Vultures and jumping back up into the shuttle and then one-shotting Vultures again. It's a very strong tool in the late game of Protoss versus Terran. So I'm surprised that we don't see other players starting to adopt that. It's been so strong and utilized so well by Snow. And Best now just finally getting out some High Templar. Dropping a few down here. Oh, a hallucination. Wow, all right. Hallucination going to be big here. Science Vessel is ready for this attack, though. Oh, man. I wonder if he actually hits this front. Oh, he can hit all of these hallucinations at the same time with his EMP, man. This is no good. I think that Royal should hold this off easily. Here comes the EMP. Okay, pretty good. He dodges that. He needs to throw down this recall. There we go. Great dodge by Best there. He does get the recall off into the natural, but this is a very tight position. A ton of zealots in here as well, and these tanks are just going to slam the remaining dragoons. Only a couple of tanks go down here, and no important infrastructure was killed. Just a few turrets, couple of tanks, and some vultures end up getting taken out there. Although it was a good move to dodge that EMP, man, you really need the hallucinations to get through that wall, to get past all of these turrets and make their way into the main base. There's no EMP here on this. There's no EMP here. Another recall. Okay. He does manage to make it through. 2 Templar pop out as well, so some good storms will come down. But again, not the greatest location for a recall. All the units are kind of right here. They just siege up and smash the Protoss army. So again, this is not really gonna make much headway for Bess, and Royal is extending himself now up into the top left hand corner. He's gonna take that base and split this map in half, and that is never a good thing for the Protoss player. You want to avoid a split map situation at all costs. You can see he's trying to snag the space up here, but I just don't see it happening. Royal is in a great position now to take this game. He's already gonna have mines and tanks in that top left. He can start to throw down buildings in that area as well, turrets, secure that spot, and he doesn't really need to do anything yet. And I mean, he hasn't really done anything this game. There's been no attack, just methodical defense here from Royal, kind of drowning Best in the TVP here. Here comes another hallucination. It's gonna fly in one hallucination first and try to eat this EMP. Here comes another. Oh, he hits the second one. And he will end up getting this recall, but again, the spot here is terrible. This is gonna do nothing once again. I guess 2 tanks go down, maybe a third, and possibly a fourth. But at this point, I mean, we're late game. It's 22 minutes in. 3 tanks for 1 recall is not the best trade, man. He's gonna send another force here into the top left, try to pick off this base if he can. There's a very, very tight ramp here. Trying to get the Dragoons and Zealots down this ramp is tough. A great D-Matrix just keeping these tanks alive for a long time. Great storms there, landing on a lot of these units. Good stasis as well in the back. I think Best actually breaks this location, but at what cost? His entire army being destroyed here. The command center will fall. And the army of Best has to retreat, so Royal is going to be able to come back and take this base once again. I mean, it is nice to slow that down a little bit. Second Stargate is here. I wonder if he wants to transition into Carrier from here. Carrier really only, or one of the only Protoss compositions that can stand toe-to-toe with a Terran army and actually trade efficiently. If you're going to stay on gateway units and arbiters for the whole game, it's very unlikely that you'll be able to trade effectively and eventually win that game. Now, he's coming in here with another recall, but just not enough HP on that. And he just loses his army, or he loses his arbiter instantly. Now the position here in the top left is way too strong. Royal not going to be broken in that upper left, I don't think, by this army or any other. Best's going to have to find another location to attack. Well, he's going to try and dive in here. Man, this is a really tough spot with the D-Matrix as well. Just going to make this so incredibly strong. There's a great EMP on that Arbiter. So I think both of those Arbiters got hit by the EMP. Now, still shoving through here. I guess Best can take this good storm on some of these SCVs. That's going to prevent this base from going down once again. More tanks on the high ground, though, pushing everything back. Just going to wipe this army, looks like. Royal sending up even more reinforcements. His army supply is dropping surprisingly low right now. He's still got quite a few minerals and gas in the bank, so can definitely work towards that remax. But that was a good bust by Best. I did not think that was going to go as well as it did. Not many vultures were sent up to help defend that location, so it was majority just tanks and a few mines to try and hold that off, along with some science vessels. But he's going to set up here once again. Get prepared for this attack. Best, his army is incrementing out of the gateways, being sent towards the top left again. This is going to be the point of contention for the rest of this map. If Royal holds his base in the upper left, he will win this game. If Best manages to crack him and secure that base up there, I think Best will win, but it's a tough proposition, man. A very tough proposition. He's going to have to continuously pull off great EMP or great stasis. He's going to have to keep on getting good storms on these units. He's going to try and attack to a different location. Running through these mines is a bit rough. Great EMP there on the second Arbiter, and this first Arbiter gets hardly anything. Good storms on the left-hand side. He's going to keep pushing forward here, but so many of his units just stacking up on top of each other. These Dragoons getting splattered incredibly quickly. The Zealots are going to be able to dive on top of the tanks now, but the army's starting to run out of steam here. More and more tanks being sent up to assist, and the Dragoons will have to retreat. The remainder of the Zealots heads north, but right into the tank line there, and is destroyed now. Royal mining at the top left, holding on by his fingertips. Best mining, getting low on his side of the map. Maybe a ill-advised attack here from Royal. Looks like a huge stasis there. Wow, great stasis hitting all of these tanks. And that was a little bit crazy from Royal, trying to push his advantage there, trying to run up forward. Great mine drag. He's going to get another Zealot here on top of this tank. He can kill these two, and then he might be able to push down this ramp and actually take out this base. That would be huge. A one tank does survive. Best on the verge here, I think, of actually winning this game. If he can just break that base in the upper left, he will be able to take it here. Drag a mine. No, does not get the mine drag. A storm whiffs. These tanks are about to get attacked. Nice EMP there. 3 Arbiters hit by that EMP. A game-defining moment there, actually. All of those EMP, or all of that energy going to waste for Best is massive. Now a couple of vultures down here in the bottom right. Gonna stop this mining for a little bit. Royal, nice distraction tactic from him as he sets up the defense, the pure defense here in the upper left. Zealots are starting to come down this ramp. The mines are clearing them very quickly. Big drops here, but there's still so many tanks and vultures in this army. All of these Dragoons, as they come down the ramp, getting splattered. Still a ton of tanks left over. Ooh, it didn't work this time. It was working over and over and over again there. Best continuously able to crack that base, but finally Royal turns him back, holds his position here with all of these turrets, Goliaths, and vultures assisting the tanks. That's really what he needed to have a successful defense. It was also the denial of those stasis, being able to hit 3 Arbiters with a single EMP there. Just massive shift in the power between these two players. If he had had three stasis to throw down during that fight, I imagine he probably could have broken that base. Even if each stasis had gone on an individual tank, I think he still would have had a chance, an opportunity to break that. But as it stands, he's not able to do so. He's sitting back here with two arbiters sitting on top of each other once again. A little bit afraid for him that he might get EMP'd there. He's moving around the map. He has to break this top left, man. No other choice. He's got to get up here and stop this. Royal almost mined out. Max army here from Best. Is he going to try? No, he won't. He'll go towards the center left. I guess there is still some energy or some minerals over there. Another EMP going down. Both the arbiters EMP'd once again. That is so painful. So painful for Best. Losing that opportunity. Not able to use any spells with those two arbiters. They are basically useless. Flying paperweights here if the EMPs manage to land. I think he's gonna try and dive in here once again. Ton of storms gonna come out here. So many. Oh my god, that was an insane amount of storm, but hardly anything died on the side of Best, and now all he's got is a bunch of dragoons trying to run down a very tight ramp. Tank down here in the bottom right, just so clutch, killing off a ton of probes. It's like finally Best recognizes that. He's gonna throw down a couple of storms there. Actually, 3 storms end up coming out, and he will be able to kill the tank, but I guess he's not going to get this vulture. Going to chase it down with the probes in order to finish it off. 4 HP is going to be microed here by him. The funniest battle here. Are you kidding me? This thing just will not die. There we go. Finally, that goes down. But Best about to run out of steam here. He's down in supply. Down about 40 supply, man. That is a terrible situation to be in right now. With Royal mining healthily here, he's going to put tanks everywhere around that base, even behind the minerals, it looks like. Setting up some tanks back there. Getting a ton of turrets. All he need to do is hold that base, and he should be able to win this game. Best has been locked out of a victory here. Truly no way for him to take this victory at this point. He's going to mine out at the bottom right. That's the last base that he has. And Royal will still be mining over here in the top left for another good 5 minutes. So he is set. Guess we're just waiting for Best to tap out from here. Nothing really else can be done. I guess maybe he mines us out, makes one more 200 army, and dives in, but really there's no more hope. Look at that number of tanks, man. I guess a good recall on top of that could clear a lot of them, but how are you going to get a recall there with Royal just being so vigilant and EMPing every single arbiter? I don't see it happening. What is he going to do? Is he going to try and go for the main base? I mean, even that wouldn't really end the game. I think that Royal could just unsiege everything and go across the map and base trade. If that were to happen. Just keep a bare minimum of units up in the top left. Just keep that mining. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what Best's plan is here, but he is out of options. It's like, yeah, gonna dive into the main once again. Not really any point of doing so, but that is a ton of hallucinated arbiters. He's gonna dive here in the main. Is there a dropship passing? Here comes the 2 science vessels. Gonna throw down the EMP, and oh my god, he actually gets it through. Oh my god, so many arbiters here. Wait a second, that's 4 arbiters in the main. He's gonna start to yeah, he's gonna put a Wait, he doesn't put a stasis on the ramp? No stasis on the ramp. Okay, bunch of storms here on the bottom of the ramp. Hitting these tanks like crazy. Okay, but there's really not many units left over. That is so many Templar, man. That is an insane number of Templar. There's actually nothing else aside from Templar right now. What am I looking at? There's like 25... What the hell is this? There's like 15 Templar here in the main base. He's making Archons. He's making Archons. And he's about to die here. All of the Archons end up going down. Like a one last drop here. Best final hoorah into the main base was pretty epic. A lot of hallucinations being used, but there's really nothing remaining here. Gonna lose that final arbiter, and then what? Then what, Best? You have 36 minerals left to mine. Are you really gonna stay in this game? Oh my god, even fantasy would have GG'd by now, man. This is ridiculous. I actually have to use the washroom pretty bad at this moment. I've had to pee for a while, and Bez is just torturing me at the moment. There we go. Finally he GG's. I can use the washroom and we can jump into our next game. All right, we're getting into game number 2, and I just want to say it is a beautiful day outside. Finally spring is here in Canada. Really looking forward to summer, man. It's just fantastic outside right now. It looks so nice. I think it's like 20 degrees, something like that, and it's awesome because I'm always off work around 3 p.m. A little later if I do some overtime, but still get to enjoy the majority of the day. But I'm inside, casting these games. Hell yeah. No rest for the wicked. My water is still off, though. It's positively barbaric. Absolutely horrendous. I have no idea why that's still off. There's a ton of construction on my street. Probably what it's all about, but it's been off for 2 days. Pretty hard to cook. Wash dishes when you don't have any water. Finding that out now. I think that if I ever do get banned once again, I'm just going to restart my channel, pretend that I'm British. They'll never know. Make a new channel. I'll be British SC. Something like that. Something to look forward to if I do ever get banned again. Like we've got a TVZ next, of course. Soma versus Royal. Soma in the top right. Starting out with that nice early expansion. Gonna be under some pressure here though with 2 SCVs. And Royal sending Marines across the map. Soma is one of the best though at dealing with these type of aggressive attacks. He is so good with the micro here. Drone micro is insane. He's already pushed things back quite far, but nothing to mineral click there. Lost vision of those minerals at the natural, and he's gonna lose some drones here for sure. He's hardly connecting. Looks like he is getting some shots off, but the weakened drones getting focused down. 3 down already. 4, 5 drones have died. Royal gonna end up taking a victory here, I think, guys. That bunker finishes. The second bunker in range of the hatchery is being built as well. Great positioning here from Royal. That second bunker actually makes it very difficult for Soma to engage on either bunker. Gonna switch into this bunker now. Oh man, this is getting pretty darn bad. Looks like that drone gonna have to run away. The sunken colony not gonna finish, and yeah, this is gonna be a straight up win for Royal. He did so well with that micro. The blocking was fantastic. Few miss micro and the mistakes there from Soma. So just as I was praising him, Caster's Curse, man, he loses straight up based off of this. I'm nearly 100% sure back at home there is a complete wall in for Royal. So even if all this dies, it should still be fine. Looks like Soma's gonna surround all of these bunkers and pick them off. The SCVs have been finished off. This last bunker goes down. All of the Marines get picked off, of course, but that's so many links that have been produced. Back at home, the command center is on the way, and a full wall in means no counter damage can be done. I'm loving Royal's position right now. I almost said Soma's position, but that would be an absolute nightmare as it is right now. Maybe he can try to jump on one of these supply depots and kill it. I feel like you just keep building lings here and try to all in, because there is no way you're going to be able to take this game from this position. If you build a whole shitload of lings and just get a good surface area on one of those supply depots, you can absolutely kill that. There's no way that you can get enough SCVs to repair that, so it is going to die. However, then there's going to be SCVs standing behind. They're going to be present to block, so you have to break through those. Then you can finally attack the Marines, which are going to be clumped up right behind the SCVs. So it's not a great situation. But basically anything is better than playing straight up against Royal right now, because he is just going to absolutely crush Soma here if he's allowed to play a normal game from this position. Gonna grab his additional racks. He's already got the academy. That stim pack upgrade should be done here shortly. A couple of medics are gonna pop out. He can move out whenever he wants, and 4 sunken colonies, which Soma can absolutely not afford at this point. That Spire is on the way. Like someone moving out to try and take a third. But I don't think he can hold 2 positions right now. There's basically no way. He can hold this position with 2 sunken colonies. He's already used 2 drones though. Oh god, he's sending the drone up to the top left. Maybe he hides a base. I almost feel like taking center left right now might be a good plan. Just because you need a desperation play. You need something here. Keep yourself alive. Looks like the sunkens are not done in time. Blank here with the lings should be enough, but the first sunken goes down so quickly. That was insane. That emergency building there, not really buying that much time, but he manages to hold it off. Wow. Pretty close call there for Soma, almost getting finished off already a couple of times. Manages to hold on. This base, I don't know about this base, man. That Marine gonna go up there and scout that pretty easily. These lings will be finishing off these medics and Marines. There's a nice pick off. Oh, can he get it? No, he has to leave the medic. That sucks. One medic does escape. Soma just in such a bad way here. He does get his third base spotted as well. These Meta gonna come across the map. I mean, how much damage can they actually do? Well, the turrets are not quite done. That's a pretty good help to this damage, but there's only 2, literal 2 mutas here. Just see how badly hurt Soma's economy is. With the 2-hatch muta, you should be pumping out 6 immediately at the beginning when you first morph those mutas, but only able to produce 2. That's just beyond brutal. Now he's got 4 out, but 4 still not that kind of critical mass that you need to start one-shotting these Marines. So I think that Royal can easily push out here on the map. He doesn't have anything to worry about. There's no way that Soma surrounds and kills this army, even though it's so small. You can feel completely safe doing that. Ling's trying to look for a little backstab attempt, try to pick off a turret or 2, but not gonna happen. These Marines heading up towards that top left-hand corner. Soma, big mistake there, loses a muta. That's a full 20% of his mutas there. One muta ends up going down. He only had 5 at that moment, so pretty brutal damage there. Considering the position now, we have gotten to a decent supply of muta, but it's just so savage. It's so sad with these starports finishing up. Royal's gonna have some science vessels out here very, very soon, and in this matchup, generally you don't mind, or you don't really think too much about minerals as the Zerg player. It's all about the gas, but when you've been limited this hard on drones, minerals are very, very scarce. You can see he's got 500 gas in the bank, but from that, having that third gas, but his minerals are just way too low, man. He just doesn't have anything to supply this army. He can't get up a macro hatch, just going straight up into hive, hoping that he'll be able to bring out some tech to save himself. I feel like Royal, once he has that splash damage and starts to move across the map, there'll be no stopping him. He'll just irradiate these mutas and then go for the bust in the natural. I haven't seen any Hydralisk out just yet. Nice pick-offs. Slowing this force down. I guess that he's bought enough time now. There should be some lurkers at that natural at least. So there is definitely... Okay, never mind. Hydras only. No lurkers or anything up at this top left base. Defiler mound is there. Second engineering bay coming down for Royal as well. He's going to keep pumping those upgrades. It's a great way to stay ahead here. Wouldn't have thought of that myself, but keeping ahead in those upgrades, I mean, these Marines are going to be so incredibly strong. You know that there's no armor upgrade on the way for Soma. That's one of the first things that's going to have to be cut here from the build. Just because you're in such dire straits, every single bit of minerals and gas that you have is going to be dumped into those lurkers and of course defilers. Looks like double dropship heading across the map now. Double drop, where is this gonna head? The mutas are way out on the map and they're not in position. Whoa, 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 whoa! Huge play there by Soma. Those Scourge getting their connections, picking off 2 of the science vessels there. That was not expected, and another 2 Scourge here ready to go for these dropships, but a great scan by Roy. He's going to be able to avoid these, and these poor Scourge, they are so blind, not able to pick off the drops there, and yeah, this is rough, man. He's gonna lose the Nidus. Wait a second. Okay, the Nidus actually doesn't go down. That's shocking. 4 lurkers are present. The Nidus finally does get picked off. Only had a little bit of health left. Soma gonna bring everything together that he has right now to try to pick this off. We'll see how this goes. 2 lurkers plus about 10 muta. 8 muta now. 7 muta now. A lot getting picked off there. Lurkers. Great split from Royal. He's running forward with the stim and picking off quite a few of them. The micro here at the end from Soma, trying his best to keep himself alive. Only 4 mutas remain. 3 Marines versus 4 mutas, but so many medics to heal them. And only 2 mutas left. It looks like Royal will be able to break this eventually. He's killed so many drones up here in the top left-hand corner, so that's the real story. Needs to get some of these lurkers over to the ramp as well. Some Marines running up to assist, but they're not going to get here in time to run up this ramp. So at least Soma will survive for now. I'm shocked that he managed to keep that base. I'm not sure if that was genius on Soma's part or some mistakes on Royal's part. Maybe a combination of both, but I felt like he definitely had what it took there to break that base, but not quite able to do it. There's the evolution chamber now, so +1 armor will finally now be on the way, but Royal should already have, I think, 2-2. Maybe by this point. Actually, it might be a little early. Here comes that drop. Defiler throws down the Dark Swarm, manages to keep at least these lurkers alive. However, the Nidus Canal goes down. Nothing makes it through there. He's going to run one lurker across that no man's land between the two Dark Swarms and manages to get it over there. But he's working with 2 lurkers, 2 defilers, and a dream right here. There's nothing that can really come up to assist. I guess 3 mutas managed to make their way up here. Another Nidus on the way. 2 more hatcheries coming up as well, but Royal close to breaking through in both locations. There's the Defiler. He's going to rush that down. Oh, gets the Irradiate there. Second Defiler manages to throw down 1 more Dark Swarm, just barely keeping Soma alive for now. Wings and lurkers trying to run out and maybe join the upper left, but GG is finally called. He's going to get broken here. Soma finally taps out, and Royal takes that game. Nicely done. All right, on to our next game. Bisu coming out here in the center right, Royal in the top left. We're on Monopoly. We've got that triangular map with the center island. Plenty of bases around this map. I think that from what we've learned so far, very, very important for Protoss to expand away from the Terran on this map. It's also really, really strong to go carriers here, so we might end up seeing Bisu go for that. Bisu's been playing at a very high level recently. He is just recently back from the military and putting on a good show in ASL, so hopefully he can repeat that success here. Try to take a game off of Royal, or at least give us a nice close game. That one versus Best was pretty great, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel that Royal was in pretty good control of that game for a long time. Once he held that top left base, game was pretty much over. Things just kept getting worse and worse for Best until he eventually had to leave the game. But this is a very different map. There are a lot of bases here, plenty of locations to snag. Of course, there's only one other main base, but that's better than a 2-player map where you only have your main base and your opponent's main base. So at least there's that. There's plenty of room to expand. Very difficult to cut this map in half. I should mention that as well. That's kind of how Royal ended up winning that last game, or that versus Best game. So not going to be a possibility here for Royal. He'll most likely have to do a 2 or 3 base timing attack. Not sure if he can get to 4 bases here safely, because they are pretty darn spread out. 3rd base is not too far away from the natural here, but the 4th base is very, very far away, so that will be a tough proposition there. Now, running by with the first Zealot, Bisu gonna get in here and deal a little damage. Looks like a great surround with these SCVs. Really nice here. Holy cow. Damn, Royal with the sick micro there. Excellent, excellent surround. That is so hard to do. Surrounding a Zealot is like really next level. Nice pick off with the probe. Does get that, but one probe for 1 Marine. Not the greatest trade, man. And Royal just going to take a nice little advantage here in the early game. He's got his command center up. He doesn't need to really produce any more Marines. He can just throw these in the bunker. He'll be absolutely fine. He can get his factory up. He deals with that probe. Everything looking good here, man. He is playing really out of his mind today and taking on some great players. Wish that he could play like this in every tournament, because I think he could be a world champion, man. I've been saying it for a while. I absolutely think that Royal could be an ASL champion. He just needs to control those nerves. It's a different ball game in person on the ASL stage. So as soon as he gets that experience and he gets his nerves under control, I think for sure this guy can win an ASL. Probably he is either second best or best Terran in the world right now, in my opinion. But I digress, guys. Let's get back into this game. We've got a Reaver on the way here for Bisu. I'm gonna send that across the map relatively soon. An engineering bay is done, and starport on the way here. So that turret in the front, you know, you can tell that Royal doesn't have very much information here because he's building his turret at the front next to the bunker, so he's not expecting a Reaver just yet. I think he might be possibly expecting a DT play. Actually, I'm not 100% sure on that. He might have. Did he scan in there? I think I might have seen a scan go off. Oh, now I can't quite remember. He's got the mines down in the front. There is a turret in the back as well. Mine there, ready to go. Great defense so far. Almost takes out all the shields here, and the Wraith pops out just in time. This is gonna get completely shut down. Bisu, is he gonna end up losing his shuttle here? Going after the shuttle. I think he gets it. Nicely done. That Wraith is gonna escape as well. Completely wrecked here. Royal just pulling out the perfect build, getting that Wraith out just on time, and handling the Reaver play from Bisu perfectly. Really just stellar play, and this is what I've been talking about, guys. Just the power here of Royal is kind of insane. He is so damn good right now. So he shuts everything down. He's ahead in supply. He's got his 2 factories. I think he throws down a 3rd base here, though I'm not 100% sure. His 2 factories are down so far. He's even building more turrets, getting a little bit defensive. Speed shuttle is done. So, man, a lot was invested here for Bisu. Speed shuttle as well. You could tell he was planning to get some damage done with these shuttles, but he's just been able to do nothing so far. Shuttle plus speed plus that Reaver, and a 2nd Reaver pops out as well. So how much money did he invest there? He has to get something for that, because so far he has dealt 0 damage, or just a few turrets and that Wraith. That is it, and the Wraith is still out there searching around, looking for observers and stuff. That thing remains useful here into the future, and a dropship is on the way as well, so making use out of that starport. Throw down a scan here. That could just be a scan to find out what the tech is, but actually the dropship arrives. Too many Dragoons there. He is just going to back away from that location. Third base is done now for Bisu. What do we have here in the main for Royal? Looks like a command center on the corner that's completely revealed to Bisu's vision. He's got an observer sitting right over top of that, so he knows third base is on the way. Not much he can do about that, though, except keep producing and try his best to slow that down with his Reaver. Oh, nice mine there. Dealing quite a bit of damage to those first few Dragoons. Not much army on the map here for Bisu just yet. So Royal is going to struggle to be able to snag that third base. It's quite far from the natural. The only thing is, it's really difficult for the Protoss to swing between the natural and the third base. Like some harassment gonna come down here. 4 probes so far. 5 probes end up going down. And no unload here for the shuttle. Gets another probe. Does back away. We're all doing some decent damage there. Now, as I was saying, taking the third base, if you move out and take the third base to the right of this natural, you can shut down your opponent from attacking you in the natural, because the or counterattacking you into the natural. You can put all of your units on that third base, which is a special feature of this map. That's all because the distance to rotate around the map is incredibly far. Just crazy far. So if you want to go around, you have to head south, go all the way around the middle part of the map, and then come up towards the natural. And that gives plenty of time for Royal to adjust his army and defend that natural. So he's moving out now, heading towards the right here, getting all sieged up. Not a whole lot of zealots here. He's gonna target this shuttle. That Reaver goes down instantly. No shots come out of the Reaver, but these zealots are jumping on top of everything. The vultures are kind of in the front. They get picked off super quick, and all the tanks are gonna go down here. That was 3 shuttles dropping zealots on top of this army, and every tank goes down. Oh my goodness, Bisu just busting this so easily here. That is ridiculous. I think that may have misjudged both I and Royal his position here in this game, because I thought he was going to be able to take that base easily. He didn't have the mine set up, though. Those zealots just running straight up onto the tanks. The shuttle's dropping off easily. It's crazy. The Reaver did 0 damage. That first shuttle got picked off, and those 2 other shuttles just ran forward and dropped on top of every single tank. It's crazy, but it just happened. Royal loses every single tank he had, and Bisu just going to take another base. I'm a little bit blown away, actually, by that result. And I think that Royal maybe too, kind of shocked here. He is in a terrible position now. Each time that you move out and try to take a third base and it gets denied, the expectation, the ability to take that third base is reduced drastically. It becomes that much harder. It becomes a whole hell of a lot harder to take the base next time. It's like some vultures coming through, trying to deal a little bit of harassment damage, only getting a few probes. They do get picked off. Here comes the first Templar drop. Psionic Storm on the SCVs. That tank finishes off that Templar before it can get one more storm down. And most of the SCVs do, in fact, escape. Like losing a single turret there. Not much more damage can come from that, though. That third base being thrown down here in the on the left side, but ooh, I don't really like this too much from Royal taking that base. I guess he was kind of forced into it because he couldn't move forward and actually fight this army. But this seems really rough. Now he's all against this wall. Zealots are running forward. The connections on these mines are pretty darn good, but there's still a ton more zealots. Nice storm there on those vultures on the left side. Zealots are getting right up on top of these tanks as well. All the tanks have almost gone down, and although this wasn't the greatest fight for Bisu, just because of sheer numbers here, as a result of the numbers advantage, excuse me, as a result of that early attack, the number of tanks being reduced so far, Bisu just takes this win. He pushes him back. He's gonna cancel this third base, force it to lift. All these SCVs have to run. I guess he can just switch this command center to the center right. Another drop here. More Psionic Storm gonna come down. Oh, great storm there. 3 kills. Fantastic for Bisu. He's damaged a lot of those SCVs as well. Looks like that command center actually did go down too. That's so painful. Royal basically at death's door here. Unfortunately for Bisu, I guess he decided to expand towards his opponent. I really don't understand this decision. Expanding down in the bottom left would be nearly impossible for Royal to ever attack, because you open yourself up to counterattacks so easily, and you're just stretching yourself so far out on the map. But this is actually a base he could attack. He's going to take this location. He's going to throw down a whole bunch of tanks, turrets, and stuff. And simultaneously, he's going to attack this base in the top right. And he's going to take his third. So this is actually giving Royal a chance to get back into this game. If he gets up here and deals with this base and gets his own third, he could potentially come back here, but he'll have to survive this attack first. Big drops here. Zealots on top of these tanks. They get picked off pretty easily by the vultures, but Storm's great on those vultures, and now the vulture number is way too low. The Zealots are going to be able to run all over these tanks, and the Dragons are here to clean up. Just one more tank left. This is going to be it. This is going to be GG here. Royal will have to tap out, and Bisu finally going to shut down Royal here and take the game in match number 3. It's been a while since we've seen a Protoss victory, and it's going to be Bisu, the one able to do it. Of course, it's not a victory on the week. It's just a victory in a single one versus one, but a step in the right direction. Bisu takes that win. We're going to go on to game number 4. Yes, I am back. I'm going to bring you Bisu versus Sulky. It was a crazy day today, guys. I know it feels instantaneous between last game and this game, but it's been about 2-3 days, and today was just nuts. My entire workplace was like a dust bowl today. Super dry and incredibly windy. Shit was blowing around everywhere. I was wearing goggles and N95 mask, and I still have shit all in my eyes. My nose blown black. When I blew my nose, the tissue was black, is what I mean. So pretty nasty. Hopefully that's gonna go away here pretty soon. This week's supposed to be grading the work area, the yard, so hopefully that fixes the problem. But my eyes, it feels like there's grit in my eyes right now, guys, so I'm gonna do my best. Did have a shower, but didn't really help that much. I guess I need to like stand there with my eyes open looking at the shower in order to clean things out. Anyway, we're gonna be fine. Bisu here starts out with a Forge Fast Expand, and he's found his opponent first, so he knows everything's gonna be alright. That cannon gonna be on time. Of course, Sulky sees this, sees the cannon. I don't know why he's sending these links across the map anyway, but he does. Maybe he thinks he can just barely slip by, get into the main with those 2 links, but not gonna happen. That cannon finishes up. I know it takes a long time for a cannon to warp in, but not that long. And it looks like Sulky gonna take a natural in the top left. So this could be an interesting game here. We're gonna have Sulky on the defensive, setting himself up for a nice late game, unless he decides to bust. There's always a possibility. He could go for a Hydralisk bust, but most likely he's gonna set up his wall in. And he's going to put a ton of sunken colonies down, and he's just going to take a free 4th base, and we'll see how Bisu decides to react to that. He could go for drops, he could build into a ton of Corsairs, just ravage the the Overlord count, apply block, Soul Key into infinity. We'll see what he decides to do here, and what corners that Soul Key decides to cut. You really want to get your drones out as quickly as possible, but also as safely as you can. Big emphasis on that safety part of this build. You don't want to get broken here, but you want to get into 4 bases as quickly as you can. It's like this Dragoon gonna come up to high ground and look for the Overlord. Uh-oh, actually, Ling's gonna kill that probe, and all the Lings get into the main base. Okay, 2 Lings get into the main base, excuse me. Not really gonna make much of a difference here because there is a Dragoon. It will one-shot these Lings. There's one, and he spots out everything that's going on, and eventually that Dragoon will pick that off. The Overlord can escape though, not a big deal. Corsair is gonna track that down, but no damage has been done by that Dragoon, so it is gonna take quite a bit longer to kill that off. There's a sacrificial Overlord there because probably, most likely, there's going to be a Spore defense here for Sulky Spore, or just straight up Hydralisk. 2 Zealots have made their way across the map, and while Sulky was trying to do his sneaky business there, running by to deal damage and in Bisu's natural, Bisu just sends these Zealots across the map and does a little damage already, preventing these from mining. Spire hidden behind the main base, and try to keep that alive, or try to, excuse me, hide that tech. These Zealots in a pretty good location, but I think he should be able to get a good surface area on that to pick that off. Dragoon here in the front, fighting against these Hydralisks, and he might actually lose these Hydras, and this is the problem here that I was talking about earlier, is just balancing, not getting too greedy. And it looks like Sulky's really gotten too greedy here. He's losing quite a few Overlords. 2 Overlords have gotten out already. He's got some Lings here to help deal with these Zealots and this Dragoon, but now he's got no anti-air defense. He is completely supply blocked, and he's going to lose all of these Overlords. Wow, crazy, crazy damage here by Bisu. That was the weirdest attack I've ever seen. 1 Dragoon, 1 Zealot, and 2 Corsairs just killed an insane number of Overlords there. That was pretty incredible, actually. Slowed down Sulky so much here. He's got another Overlord going down and a bunch of Zealots heading across the map right here that he's got to deal with. So Sulky, I mean, is in a very bad situation. He's gonna lose potentially a bunch of drones here now because he's only got this 1 Hydra, and the sunken colony is being focused. Zergling's gonna fight here on the ramp, trying to deal with these Zealots. The sunken colony does finally come up, but it immediately dies. And there's the Mutas popping out here, so a quick Muta tech switch might be the saving grace here for Sulky, but gonna split off these Zealots to run into the main. Try to deal some damage up there as well. +1 is done, so these Zealots are gonna trade very nicely. Going after some drones now. Mutas, where are the Mutas? Okay, they're gonna come down here and pick off this Zealot. 2 drones end up going down there to pick off this sunken colony as well. More and more Zealots coming across the map and just dealing so much damage here. very close to getting out of control. We'll see if Sulky can hold on, but he's losing some drones. He's losing some lings there. The mutas are jumping back and forth, trying to deal with these. Oh god, a DT coming into the natural here. Luckily, there are a bunch of lings that are just prepped and ready to surround. So he manages to take care of that, no problem. This Zealot gonna run up into the main, try to get some drone kills if it can. But it feels like Sulky has finally held. However, third base gonna be on the way here for Bisu. And it feels like he's just in a commanding lead right now. 88 supply to 50, so yeah, he's doing pretty darn well, I'd say. Archon coming across the map. That's the first Templar that was made directly into Archon. And 3 Corsairs coming out as well, so not going to be able to just fight easily with these mutas. Except he does have Scourge, so that's nice. 2 shots there with the Archon, going to push back these mutas quite far. And he finally does get some good pod shots. Oh, another good shot there for Bisu. These mutas are so low now. Bisu doing a great job of just continuously putting on that pressure over and over again. Even though it's incredibly small numbers of units, it's doing a great job of just stopping Sulky from ever being able to drone up here. And he still hasn't tried to take his 4th base yet. That 4th base in the upper left, which was supposed to be taken quite a long time ago, still hasn't been grabbed. More Zealots running here into the natural. A whole bunch of Overlords going to go down, and these Scourge do start to connect, but there's 4 Corsairs left, and these 6 mutas are incredibly low. Luckily for Sulky, those sunken colonies do finish up, so he should be able to hold here. But again, Sulky has to focus on building buildings and attacking units to hold off Bisu here rather than droning up and getting his 4th base. He's just having a really hard time stabilizing this economy. So overall, I think a win here for Bisu, who's getting his 3rd base up. His army is increasing in complexity. Ooh, a couple of Scourge do connect, so he loses 2 Corsairs. 2 more Corsairs joining this fight here. Still quite a few Scourge, but has to dodge the attack from this Archon. Good micro is going to be huge here for Bisu. Looks like the micro starts to fail there for him in the very end, but too many Zealots, and this Archon gonna be able to take out all of the Mutalis, and GG is called. Beautiful game there by Bisu. What an crazy pressure experience there in PvZ. That's something you don't see every day. An attack with 1 Dragoon, 1 Zealot, and 2 Corsairs ends up breaking the back of a professional level, like literally top 3 Zerg player in the world right now. That's pretty crazy to see. And everything else in that game kind of cascaded from that moment. So a pretty interesting PvZ there. Not the longest one, but you know, sometimes it's cool to see these guys ooze or how they're able to take each other down in that early game. Where is the vulnerability? Because sometimes when you play against these Protoss or Zerg players, they seem so solid, so incredibly good at that defense. It's hard to imagine them ever breaking, whereas a player like me, you get broken all the time in the early game by just random attacks, weird Zealot timings and stuff like that. It never seems to happen to Sulky, but there you have it. It did happen this game. Bisu takes that win. Sulky is eliminated. Wow, so Sulky is out, man. And 2 Zerg players have already been eliminated. There's only Jaedong left over in the background. Surprising result so far this week. I feel like that was a wild ass game. I was really showing Bisu's skill is at another level right now. Interesting, we never even saw Storm come out against Sulky, which is crazy. It's funny, like, he just looked at that game and his position. You know, a lot of Protoss players would kill off all those overlords, supply block their opponent, and then take that third base, build into a strong army, and just take take that advantage into the late game or into the mid game and try to win that way. But Beast is just, no, I'm just gonna keep sending zealots, and I'll make an Archon and send it across the map and just win that way. It's like, he knows it perfectly. You're not gonna be able to defend with anything except for Mutas and Scourge and the Lynx, so Archon is perfect here. So he just sends it out, takes that win, and shows us all a thing or two about Protoss versus Zerg, and that's really proof that you can always learn something new, no matter how long you've watched or played this game. He's doing some interesting stuff, and looks like he's going to start here with a Nexus first. He gas stole, went Nexus first. That's pretty rude, man. That's the Protoss equivalent of flipping you off, dude. I think that Sharp just got given the middle finger here by Bisu. No, that's it's not really what it is, but he's gonna put a pylon here as well. Oh god, so annoying. And now you can just cancel. Ugh, that's incredibly frustrating. Feel like Sharp's probably pretty pissed right now. And he's gonna start to build a bunker. We'll see if this ends up finishing. Marine is here. The probes are gonna be pulled. He's getting vision now of that mineral patch up in the top left-hand corner, so he can mineral walk out here. Oh, needs to move to right. There we go. Sharp moving away from these probes. Does manage to push them away. The bunker is being a little low. Like, the Zealot gonna go after the SCV. And the Zealot gonna get a couple of hits there, but does end up going down. Not bad. Good surround here by the probes, though. And 2 probes only go down. Yikes, that's not good. No additional SCVs, so he won't be able to finish this bunker. And Sharp just gonna head on back home. I do not think that that was remotely worthwhile for Sharp. I think that Bisu is gonna be feeling very nice about his position now. And it's a little bit deceiving because we do have 28 to 27 supply, but Protoss has just been building probes for way longer here. Out of that second Nexus. So he's going to be having a lot more probes. He's going to have a much better economy. He's building a robo over here in the top left as well. Sharp's just finished up his command center, so he's mining there now, but he's only also just started mining gas, so 2 factories finally coming down here. But the robo is like literally halfway done, and it's very close, so he will be able to get in here incredibly quick. Sharp gonna scout this main, but he's not gonna see anything, man. Oh, nice slipping by there. At least he sees the spinning cybernetic score. He sees the second gateway, but he's not gonna find that tech building, what he's actually looking for, either a citadel or a robo. And Beast is gonna throw down a third base right away. He's looking to be once again in a great position here with 2 kills on the board, looking for his third. Is Sharp gonna be the next victim? It's starting to look that way. Robotics support Bay on the way. Another SCV moving around. Another path on this map. That's one of the features of this map, having so many paths. Whoa, Sharp actually gonna scout this? That is surprising. Sending out a Marine just randomly on the map, scouts this proxied location. Eventually we'll get tracked down. This SCV gonna run in as the Dragoon reveals itself. No, he's gonna head towards that third base. And potentially block Bisu from taking this. Maybe you can throw it on eBay or something. Maybe just attack this probe. We'll be fine as well. Oh my god, wait a second. Gonna lose that? No. Okay, Sharp. Not as quick as he'd like to be. Just get that moving shot. Really, really hard to get that moving shot with the SCV. Bisu does escape. But still no third base just yet. And this... Oh, this Vulture gonna slip by here. Gets one kill. Might be able to get a couple more. The Dragoons finish that off, and only 2 kills end up going down. Bisu not paying attention though at the front of Sharp's base. He loses a Dragoon for free. Things starting to go wrong for Bisu here. Things have been scouted. Probe damage has occurred. And he's been forced to build a Nexus in a place that he didn't really want to. Over there in the center right, he builds that base. I'm going to come in with the Zealot and this Reaver. Whoa, almost losing the shuttle. This is pretty dangerous. The Scarab comes down. The bunker's been broken. Good shot there on that tank. Another dive out here with the Reaver. Oh, he runs in with that shuttle and loses it. He can get maybe one more shot here with the Reaver. No, he loses the Reaver as well. 2 or 3 siege tanks in the end up going down for the exchange of the Reaver, shuttle, and a couple of Dragoons, plus a few Zealots as well. So on paper, not the greatest win there for Bisu, but still I'd say a bit of a win. Reducing that tank count is huge. And another Reaver will be popping out here soon. You gotta dive on top of these tanks. 4 Dragoons, but one of them gets picked off right away, so now not gonna be able to 2-shot anymore. He loses one of the Dragoons. Gets a second tank, though. Oh, one more Dragoon to fall, and this one will fall as well. So 4 Dragoons for 2 tanks. Again, not the best trade in the world, but I still think it's pretty much worth it here for Bisu. 2 tanks for 4 Dragoons. Again, reducing that tank count, slowing down Sharp's attack timing. He's going to have to rely on Vultures and run-bys for quite a bit longer here before he can actually get an attack off. Dragoon running for the hole here. He does make it into this gap in the pylons, but a bunch of probes will go down. Another mine goes off, but doesn't kill the Dragoon, and the last Vulture gets picked. So few probes go down. Sharp thinking about moving across the map now. There's not too many gateway units out on the map for Bisu, and he's kind of trapped inside his base. Those Dragoons are behind the Nexus there. They're gonna have to move all the way back around the mineral patches and then out. Okay, he does get them out. Pretty hard to move those sometimes, but he does get them out here. And looks like a transition into Stargate play is coming, but Sharp is already here. He's looking for this attack. 4 tanks only, though. Zealots with no speed. Can Bisu break this attack and stop Sharp from advancing here? Zealots are going to run forward. Few Dragoons are left. Only 5 Dragoons remain. These 2 tanks unsieged are going to walk forward and siege up in range of these Dragoons, pushing them back. 3 Dragoons with red HP here on the right-hand side. Those are not going to be any value for a defense of this natural here. It looks like Sharp moments away from taking this game. What a swing in Sharp's favor. I'm not sure actually how he even got here. I feel like there's should be a lot more units on the field for Bisu. He's got 1,000 minerals in the bank. How many gateways does he have? 4 gates. He's only got 4 gates, and there's 5 factories on the side of Sharp. So just overpowering him with pure numbers here. I feel like Bisu got a little bit too fancy. He does get some good mine drags there. but doesn't damage all the tanks with that attack. The Dragoons coming from the back, but GG is called. Sharp, decisive victory there after a rocky opening. Manages to snatch that kill, taking down Bisu. He will go into the next match. That's versus Jaedong coming up next. Alright, so Sharp takes down Bisu. A bit of an upset. Definitely think that Bisu has been playing a little bit more solidly lately, but Sharp has a moment of brilliance. Hits with a great 2-base timing attack and just takes Bisu out. Now it's going to be him versus Jaedong. Kind of wanted to see Bisu versus Jaedong, but this still should be a great matchup. We've got a 12 hatch versus a wall in here. Sharp going to go for a nice quick expansion behind this wall. Jaedong just going to gotta harass a little bit. Not going to lose an SCV here, I don't think, though. His micro is very good. Yeah, Jaedong just going to back away as that Marine pops out. And we're going to see a 1 barracks expand versus a 2 hatch muta, most likely here. See if he wants to throw down a 3rd hatch in the main or potentially at a quick 3rd base. That's become more and more popular here recently in Zerg versus Terran, just grabbing that really early 3rd base, defending with sunken colonies, and of course the mutas that pop out. But Sharp is known for being really good at breaking bases early on, stim timings, and random Marine move-outs like this can be really hard to deal with if you're trying to get a 3rd base up really early. Like just 3 Marines moving through the middle, gonna catch this Ling, but good pullback there by Jaedong. Not gonna lose any additional Lings, and those Marines are gonna have to head back home. More Lings are gonna pop out here. Could potentially pick those off, so Sharp just gonna run back, making sure he doesn't lose those. Checking how many Marines there are here, but Jaedong just gonna leave without confirming that Marine number. Doesn't want to lose that Ling. Saving every single unit here. Every unit in the early game, super important. Quite a few Lings coming across the map, and Sharp gonna scout that for the most part. Ling speed is done, but just barely not in time to finish off that SCV, so I think no losses so far in this game. Not even a single Ling dying. And Jaedong gonna take his 3rd down in this natural here. Bottom left. Will be much harder to hold on to that base in comparison to the main down there in the bottom left, but if he manages to hold it, of course he will be able to secure that 4th gas with relative ease. Unless Sharp decides to go for drops or something like that, that could foil his plans. Anyway, Jaedong has to deal with this next move out. 2 medics stim timing here. Range should be on the way right now. And he will pick off 1 Marine. Nicely done there. Sharp not quite paying attention. Ends up losing 1 Marine to just a few Lings, and no Lings have died so far, so a great trade there for Sharp, and it's gonna, or for Jaedong, excuse me, and it's gonna force Sharp to turn around. Although he did manage to force a sunken colony. Still a little bit rough for Sharp, just having to go back right away. Mutalisks are out in force and will begin their harassment here soon. We'll see how Sharp deals with that. Jaedong Mutalisk Micro is legendary. This is the man who kind of revolutionized Zerg versus Terran. Zerg in general, with just his immaculate control in this matchup. So we'll see if his control is still up to snuff in today's time, in today's what would you call it? Up to today's standard. Wow, I just could not get those words out. He takes down that turret. And a couple of Marines, a medic or two as well. Sacrifices those Lings, but he's doing a really good job here at the front. Forcing all the Marines to come down here to defend these two supply depots. He's already made some headway. But now without any more Lings, he'll have to rely completely on Muta. His third gas is up. Can he actually break this front here? It was getting pretty close. At least he should be able to get that SCV that's repairing on the outside of these supply depots. No, he doesn't. One more Muta goes down. He's almost at 11 now. Waiting a little bit longer for those last couple of Muta to join this pack. We'll see if he starts to begin that tech transition. The moment that Sharp moves out, he dives on these two missile turrets, picking them off with 2 hits each, and Sharp just gonna stim and run across the map. Okay, stopping here between the two bases. Sharp stims up and just runs to high ground. Does not want to lose this group of Marine Medic just yet. And trade it out for Mutalisk, but this is all the power he has on the map right now. Ooh, Jaedong making a little mistake there. Started off that harassment well, but ends up losing a few extra Mutalisks. Going after the Marines now. Really nice trade there. The Marines getting pretty far away from their medics, and he turns that fight nicely. Kills off a ton of Marines. Only losing a couple of Mutas, and he remakes that 11 Muta group very, very quickly. He's coming up with the Lings now. Can he actually take a good fight here? 2 groups of Mutalisks, but not enough. The Lings and Mutas get wrecked there as the Marine damage starts to stack up. Nice movement going in and out there. Jaedong pretty low on Muta though now. I guess it's okay because we do already have 2 starport finished, and Irradiate is on the way. Lurker's about to be morphed here for Jaedong, but he'll have to morph them back at home. He's not going to be able to get aggressive with these. It looked like he was thinking about doing so, and Sharp reacted with that bunker, but in the end, Jaedong, he really needs to stay back here, focus on defending his 3rd and natural, and work on getting up into that 4th base. Hydra running out here in the middle of the map. That's not where he's supposed to be. I'm gonna go ahead and send him back down to the bottom left. Start to set up that sunken wall and secure that base. Queen's Nest or Hive should be on the way already. Jaedong gonna transition out of this Mutalisk heavy build. Just send these guys back home to handle the defense. Make sure that he doesn't get dropped. And we're going to transition here into the next phase of the game. Next phase of the game being Sharp pressuring with his Marine Medic and irradiating all of the Lurkers and Mutas that he can. We'll see where he decides to go first, and if he wants to go for dropships, that answers my question, actually. The moment that I asked it, dropships are already out. Sharp has a couple of options here. He can go for the main base of either the top left or the bottom left. Try to get on top of one of these Nidus locations, but already with a bunch of Scourge in position. Radiate down on the mutas. Can he split it? Okay, that was a bit of a rough split, but he eventually gets it out. Another Irradiate goes down, but the split goes pretty well here for Jaedong. So many Scourge are available. He's going to go for the Science Vessel. Science Vessel going to get picked off there on the right-hand side. But these drops managed to get out, and he's going to go straight up here into the main. Defiler, though, already in place. Going to defend these drones. He needs to move the drones. Okay. He does end up moving these drones eventually. And Lings will be sent up into the main to deal with this drop. Oh my goodness, what just happened there? About 3 lurkers just went running into that Marine medic group from the bottom left, and in his field that Jaedong is starting to fall apart a bit here. He was holding off very nicely, having the Defiler in place in time, and the Muta's doing a great job in combination with these Lings to pick off the Marines that have been coming up here. But oh, really, really rough play from Sharp, or from Jaedong, excuse me. Sharp gonna take advantage, dropping again down here in the bottom left-hand corner and continuing this drop in the main. Oh, it's gonna get it. Okay. Oh, both drops go down. Sharp staying a little bit too long, trying to make it happen. He's gonna go for the Defiler here. Oh, Defiler with 10 HP doesn't end up going down. Sharp will just have to take the consolation prize of denying that base. Down in the bottom left, quite a bit of wildness going on in this game so far. Mistakes on both sides. And as the dust settles here, I think that Jaedong not losing too many drones, not being broken here, I think that's going to... I think this position is going to favor him a little bit. There's no medics in this group of Marines. Only a single medic over here. Sharp forgetting to press that key as he's macering up a bit, I think. But he's got a lot of barracks. He can definitely make some more medics. He can continue to produce a ton of Marines here. He's got his 3rd base up as well. Little plague going down there. And Jaedong gonna focus on getting this next base. Wants to get his 4th base up here. Needs to worry about these dropships coming in, though. There's plenty of defense, however. Start to get these irradiates off. Not enough Scourge in play for Jaedong to successfully deal with those Science Vessels as they fly into the main base. They're not really well protected, so should be able to get some of them, but... Okay, finally some Scourge are going to pop out here. Can defend against a potential drop. Though there is always the potential for D-Matrix to just come in and force that drop to occur. It's like gonna engage with the sunken colonies here. Lurkers will pop out. Going after these last couple of Science Vessels. Looks like he's gonna get nearly every Science Vessel here. Couple of Marines managed to run by and are gonna get a few kills on these drones. Double dropship flying into the main. Only 2 lurkers are available here. Where is the Dark Swarm? Dark Swarm, nicely done. Dark Swarm does come down, but there is 1 Firebat, 2 Firebat, 3 Firebats going to go to work on these lurkers. He picks it off and forces the cancel there. Wow, Sharp being really annoying this game. Able to continuously stop this base down here in the bottom left and just frustrate Jaedong over and over again. Not actually able to break him, but just slowing him down. That's enough for right now. Way too many drones on that gas geyser down the bottom left, but hopefully Jaedong does catch that soon. Put those drones back to work. Physics lab on the way. Gonna start the battlecruiser production shortly. Jaedong has his Ultra's Cavern, but he just doesn't have that fourth gas yet. Pretty annoying here, just not able to get that done. And a fourth base on the way here for Sharp. Gonna land that at 12 o'clock. Start to throw down bunkers in that area. Defend that spot. It's like Sharp gonna continue to put on the pressure here. He will lose one science vessel. 2 drops are gonna come in through the back as well. Double drop here in the natural. Is Jaedong ready? Where's the Dark Swarm? There's one Dark Swarm. Coming through with the Lings and Scourge, but nice targeting there, just picking off those Scourge. Keeping these dropships alive. Finally, there's going to be some lurkers popping out, but more drones are going to die on this gas geyser as well. The Scourge just getting focused down, not picking off those dropships. Super annoying. These dropships just lasting forever. What are they doing there, honestly? They should be sent home, but they decided to park over the gas geyser and get picked off. Finally, it looks like Sharp, or excuse me, it looks like Jaedong has secured his bottom left base. He will have four gases here. But is it too late, man? Sharp is huge on the map right now. He has 4 bases. He's got 3 gases. He should have that 3rd starport coming up shortly. His upgrades are insane. He already has 3-2. There's that 3rd or 4th Stargate, or starport, excuse me, that's going to be pumping out battlecruisers here shortly. And it's really starts to become a kind of a math game, or a math problem at a certain point here. Once you've got about 3 or 4 starports producing your battle cruisers, then it really becomes a math problem for the Zerg. How many Scourge to produce? Because there's just going to be so many battle cruisers flying at you, and there's not any really great way of dealing with them except for Hydra plus Dark Swarm. If you can force them to take a fight with Hydra, Dark Swarm, and get plagues out on those battle cruisers, then yeah, you can deal with them easily. But for the most part, they're going to be parking themselves in areas that you're not actually able to hit with Hydras, like over the wall there. They're going to be parking themselves where they can hit your gas geysers, but you can't really deal any damage to them. Like another Dark Swarm going to come down here. He's almost at this 3rd base for Sharp. And he's opened up a pathway here where he can actually send his Defiler up towards the 12 o'clock. Now, he does need to deal with these 2 battlecruisers that are parked, again, in that spot where Hydras can't hit. He will be able to hit this gas geyser here. There we go. Plague on those Ultras, and a drop in the back of the natural. Oh, there's no energy for this Dark Swarm here, and a bunch of Marines just gonna pile through this natural. Oh, man. Jaedong attacking into that 3rd base, but not defending back at home appropriately. I feel like he could have held this had he just consumed a couple of Overlords there and thrown down the Dark Swarms, but he didn't have it. He didn't do it. And now he's just kind of trading here against Sharp. Rather than taking out a base, he's just kind of trading his army out. He's going to deal with this finally. But there's so many science vessels overhead, plus the battle cruisers just killing off everything on the ground. These battle cruisers are so low. Plagued battle cruisers with no HP, sitting there in the natural, not able to be picked off. Jaedong on only 3 gases once again. He's lost his natural. He's at the verge of being taken down here. No gas in the bank either. He really needs some hydras out right now. Oh, get the battle cruiser. No way the battle cruiser survives. Okay, that one finally does go down. This battle cruiser with 8 HP, not gonna survive any longer. Finally does get picked off. That lurker, poor lurker, just gonna get wrecked there by a single irradiate. Here comes the defiler. He's looking for a good plague, doesn't get it, doesn't get the science vessel either, and Sharp is just everywhere, man. He's got 5 bases now. His income is insane. Look at how much gas is in the bank, 1400 gas. And this is the math problem I was talking about earlier. There are going to be so many battle cruisers out here, and how on earth do you deal with 6 battle cruisers right now as Jaedong? If he does 2 rounds of battle cruisers and sends them across the map, it's going to be so hard to deal with. This attack may end up getting taken down. There's only 1 Ultra in this fight, but that is a lot of cracklings with the Ultra. And they're coming in at a good angle here, surrounding this Marine Medic ball, so he will end up cleaning that. And he also does pick off some of these science vessels as well. Darkstorm going to come down here, so Sharp does have to retreat, but this is a losing battle right now for Jaedong. He does get a base down at 6 o'clock, but can he defend it? A contingent of units heading towards that location now. So many barracks here. Oh, just so many barracks. And here comes the Marines of Sharp. Does he have enough to actually stop this? It doesn't look like it, but the angle's pretty good here for Jaedong. No, just not quite, man. 3 Marines break off and kill off every single drone. The rest of the Marines manage to clean up these Ultras and Lings. Gonna have to try to fight here once again. Jaedong just running forward. He loses his Defiler before it does any meaningful spells here, makes any meaningful spells. There's the hatchery surviving on 44 HP. That's not gonna last much longer. 2 engineering bays flying out in the middle. He's already got 3-3, so might as well use them for scouting potential to soak up some of those Scourge as well. I know you're not supposed to have that happen when you're at the highest level, but it's pretty hard sometimes when you have floating buildings running into your rally point to stop the Scourge from just being born, flying out, and then just connecting with a engineering bay and dying, or with any floating building and dying. It's a huge waste of gas, and I'm not really sure why more Terran players don't try to do that type of thing, because it's very, very strong and super annoying. Looks like a couple more science vessels do get picked off. I'm so shocked that Jaedong is still in this, but I think he's about to be forced out of this game. The gas geysers are running out, and there's just hardly anything left here. GG is called. Sharp takes down Jaedong as well, taking down both of these legendary players, Bisu and Jaedong. Wow, a shocking result here in this week of KCM. That is crazy, but he played a fantastic game there. I saw quite a few mistakes from Jaedong, but he still hung in there for a long time. Both these guys showing their class today. Whew, what a game. Okay, next up, we've got Snow versus Sharp. Snow in the bottom left-hand corner. Sharp here, the top right. And Snow begins this game off with a Nexus first. And a very greedy Nexus first. Indeed, he throws down the Nexus, then the Gateway before Scout. He is taking some serious liberties in this game, but looks like he throws down a second Gateway as well, so not without caveats here. Making sure that he will have enough defense just in case a rush did come from Sharp. We'll be able to produce 2 Zealots and then increment out Dragoons 2 at a time. You can pretty much hold off any early attacks from Terran as long as you have those 2 gateways after your Nexus first. And you're just constantly producing off them. If you figure out that your opponent is going for some sort of attack, not the most difficult thing in the world to hold off. So he loses that probe. A little bit rough there for Snow, but his build is really, really good here. It's a great matchup. Sharp playing pretty standard, pretty conservative, is going to get his command center started now, but the command center starts and this Nexus has already produced, I think, 2 or 3 probes, so he's got a fair lead here over his opponent. And Snow, I mean, the Snow is just another level of Protoss versus Terran player. If you give this guy a lead, it's just so incredibly hard to see any way that a player like Sharp can come back and actually take out Snow. I wasn't really expecting Sharp to beat Bisu or Jaedong, to be honest. But both of those players have recently been to the military. You know, they spent some time away from the game and they're kind of just coming back now. Especially Bisu, who was just very recently in the military. I mean, I think Sharp, or excuse me, I think Jaedong too. Maybe just this last year was in the military. And it has come back now. But Snow's been going strong, man. He's been playing really well in all the previous ASLs. He is up to date on every current strategy. He's experienced them all, and he is completely prepared for Sharp here. What the hell? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Oh man. That wasn't a wall? Oh, so many probes. So many probes, man. I think that was about 7 or 8 kills. He's gonna get another one? Oh my god. Not even the video can handle this right now. Alright, looks like that Vulture's gonna get even another kill. Are you kidding me? And another one. 7 kill Vulture there. Oh. Oh. That is too painful, man. That wall in. The pylon's betraying Snow here. I mean, that looked like a full wall to me, man, but I don't know. Sharp, he just looked at that and he knew that he was going to be able to get through. Look at that, man. What the hell? Does that look like a Vulture can run through there? I really don't think so. I feel like this is not a loss to Sharp here. This is a loss to Broodwar. Yes, the map maker, I think, beat Snow in this game. Like, oh man. Oh. I feel like my prediction's just going so wrong here, guys. I wasn't expecting Sharp to win any of these games, but even against Snow here, he gets a bit of luck and takes full advantage. Sharp, so known for being that guy who's just running around with Vultures harassing, but I mean, completely living up to the rep here. Picking off so many probes and just sneaking by. Looks like he's gonna get another one. Oh my god. So super annoying for Snow here. And he's already taking his third base, just taking it on location. He knows how far ahead he is. Looks like Stargate gonna come up here. Might be for Carrier, yeah. Looks like Carrier gonna be the choice to Stargate, plus the Cybernetic core is spitting right now. Engineering bay up here in the front for Sharp. He's not expecting any attacks anytime soon from Snow, who's been ravaged. His economy just slowed down so much. But this might go against Sharp's plan. Looks like he gets the scan, though. He finds out about this. How will he respond? His third base finishing up now. And start to throw down more factories. And I think he just goes like 6 factory right now. Just load up on those factories and produce a ton more Goliaths here. Try to go for the kill. Snowball himself off of that early game lead that he got with all of those vulture kills. Our probe kills with those vultures, I mean. Yeah, it looks like Sharp just throwing down a whole ton more factories. Upgrading his economy here, upgrading his production. Making sure that he has enough here to just run over Snow in this mid-game. The army is so small here for Snow right now. He has hardly anything. 6 Dragoons kind of wandering around the map, clearing out mines and looking for any vultures that they can pick off. A few more Dragoons here. Moving through the map. Gotta be careful not to allow any more damage to come from these vultures. Snow just, or excuse me, Sharp just playing so far forward right now. Look at his supply. He's actually ahead in supply over Snow at the moment. Does he actually have a science facility though? No, there's no science facility. Here's the starport right now, so he's just gonna wait for, I think, +1/+1 and go for the kill. That science facility is very late, so he's not gonna have +2 on the way here. He doesn't have a really solid late game timing that he can go for. He just needs to make this work right now. Needs to shove forward and rally towards his opponent's base. Snow is taking that 4th, so he is vulnerable right now. This might be the moment right here for Sharp to take this game. Bringing forward the vultures. Trying to stop these cannons from going down. And Sharp actually moving laterally here across the map. He's going to look to try and hit what looks like the natural instead. Nice pick off there on the first tank. That's really important. Getting a single tank here is really, really nice for Snow. Reducing that number at all is very important. I think he's going to come up here from behind as well. Sharp not quite willing to siege up at this moment. So he's going to lose some more units here to these Dragoons, just kind of harassing as they move forward. So he's going to get into a good position here, though. So he sacrifices some units there just to get into the best spot possible. Lodged here right between the 3rd and the natural. Like Dragoons will file in behind here and pick off this tank. The first carriers are out, but they don't have all of their interceptors. And there's only 2 carriers, so this is the golden opportunity here for Sharp to get as much damage done as possible. He picks off the 3rd base. These reinforcements here in a lot of trouble though, man. That's a ton of Goliaths, but Goliath straight up against Dragoons is no good. He's going to lose all of those, so he does pick off the Observer and back away. Snow not able to advance because of potential mines in the area, so... Jeez, we've got so many Goliaths here from Sharp just kind of sitting here in the middle. But they just don't have the support that they need to make it across the map. He's going to try and look for some way to get across here and join up with his army. But I think Snow is just going to be able to find those Goliaths and prevent them from joining the fight. Look at this. He's going to find all of these Goliaths here out in the middle. These carriers can eventually slowly pick off this army. And the ground army here just going to clean up these Goliaths, man. That's no good. Sharp in a really rough spot here. He's going to try and push forward, I think. Or push... He's going back? Oh, man. He's between a rock and a hard place here. 4 carriers on one side and a massive Protoss ground army on the other. These tanks, man, where are they going to go? I think that he's just going to lose his army and potentially this entire game. Snow going to transfer his probes to his third, excuse me, a 4th coming up down at the bottom center as well. These tanks siege up, but just 3 tanks versus this many Dragoons and Zealots. Should be easy pickings here. Snow just going to run through this. Whoa, he loses a carrier, though. 1 carrier does go down. Not the end of the world, though. +1/+1 is now finally done for Sharp, but that +2 is still a long way off. He should have his science facility down now, but he failed to end this game, and Snow just keeps expanding, takes more bases. He took his time, dealt with that attack, cut off the reinforcements, and Sharp now, I don't know, man. Can he actually win this game? Well, he can. He might be able to if he gets more pickoffs like that and like this as well. Another carrier gonna go down here. Reduced down now just to 2 carriers unless there's another pair coming out on the map right now. Snow's carrier count staying low this game, and Sharp looking to snag another base here at the 12 o'clock. His army supply is looking good, just a little bit behind Snow here, but still a pretty even game, all things considered. I think Sharp gonna wait a little bit longer, get his supply up a bit more, and go for a timing here once he has that +2 attack. 4th base on the way for Sharp. The timing here. Window is closing. Sharp gonna have 6 carriers relatively soon. 4 carriers are already out here. Carrier number 5 and 6 are on the production line. So something to worry about here for Sharp. Sieging up. Keeping his tanks alive though. Just setting up some mines. Clearing some space for his army. Getting that attack path cleared. Where will Sharp go with his army once he's ready here? It's a long march across the map. And we saw the perils of attacking on this map for Terran in TVP, that it's fairly easy for Sharp or for Snow to get in between the supply lines here of Sharp, just to throw some Dragoons and Zealots out on the map and get between the main army and the units incrementing out of the factories. So Sharp's gonna have to choose his attack path carefully here and mine his flanks well, so that Snow can't get in that counterattack position. He can't just slow everything down and continuously pick off Goliaths as they move across the map. Now here comes Sharp. He's chosen to head towards 6 o'clock here. He's sieging up on time. There's still no Zealot speed here for Snow, so he is going to have to back off. He picks off quite a few tanks with his carriers at least. And the Goliaths are just shoving forward, actually fighting straight up against these Dragoons. Not the best, but with overwhelming numbers here. Sharp will shove back Snow. And I mean, his supply is huge right now, 187 to 173. He wins that fight, and he manages to take control of this base down here in the bottom right. He is going to push away these probes, force them to go down to the bottom right main, which actually doesn't even have a nexus right now. Not to mention any defense. And these carriers going to get a nice little pick off here. 3 tanks for free. Sharp extending out a little bit with those tanks to try and pick off this nexus. Ends up costing him quite a bit there. His tank count is extremely low now. Just 3 tanks total in this army. So it looks like Sharp will have to back off and may end up even leaving this nexus alive, which is pretty rough here for our Terran player. He wanted to pick that off. Very badly wanted to get that kill. Still no Zealot speed here. I feel like Snow making a pretty big mistake never getting that Zealot speed. It's not that expensive of an upgrade, and he's definitely got the gas and minerals to get it. But he still doesn't have that upgrade, and he hasn't cut off the supply lines here of Sharp, who's now rallied up a bunch more units. He has more tanks. One of them does get picked off, but Sharp going to continue this push and continue to cut off Snow from these bases here. No mining going on at that base just below the screen, and he will get up here into the bottom left, destroy all these probes as well, and there's really nothing that Snow can do about it at this moment. He's just trying to use this little bit of water here to try and pick off as much as he can of Sharp's army. He's doing a great job of microing over that a piece of unnavigatable terrain, unwalkable terrain there. But I feel like Sharp is taking a pretty solid advantage. He's even taking top left right now. He's putting a command center up there. His 12 o'clock is about to be attacked, and I think that Sharp now recognizes that. He's sending his tanks in towards that area, and Snow is gonna only make about 4 Dragoons get into that base, so that should be an easy cleanup overall. However, this area, fighting against this army, man, is not a good idea. Sharp definitely has to retreat from this spot, and he will do. Forcing back Snow's army. You can see Snow sitting just on 4 bases here. His main is mined out. His natural about to mine out as well. He needs another base. Can't allow the Terran player to be on more bases than you, man. That is just not a good situation, so he is going to go ahead and snag a base in the center left. That's a much further push distance for Sharp, so I like the choice there, and it is actually closer to the upper left, so he can kind of attack and defend in that direction at the same time. He's dragging a lot of the Terran units here up towards the top right, and this carrier number has gotten a little bit insane at this point. So many carriers are available here. He almost picks off the command center of Sharp. Gonna start to just instantly kill these tanks now. Insta-gib these tanks. Look at the damage. The damage output from these carriers is insane. 4 or 5 tanks end up going down there, and as he retreats with 10 carriers, Snow is in a really good spot here. A good drop by Sharp. Gonna kill off quite a bit, but more tanks being focused down here. Look at this, just great control here by Sharp, or by Snow, picking off so many tanks. His minerals are getting incredibly low though. Only 6 minerals in the bank for Snow. Where is he actually mining at this point? I guess in the 6 o'clock position. He does have some mining, but he's been slowed down a lot here in his 3rd base. He gets the command center in top left at least, so a bit of a consolation prize here. Whoa, 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 whoa. That command center is burning down. If that command center burns down and Sharp ends up losing this game, That would be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I hope that he actually recognizes that and starts to repair that command center with just one SCV. That would be enough. Oh, that's actually heartbreaking, man. If he loses that, that would be insane. Oh my god, it's gonna burn down here, guys. That is actually going to burn down. You've got to be kidding me. Looks like Snow gonna get up here and try to deal damage to this 12 o'clock. Sharp responding though quickly enough. Manages to push away those Dragoons. Looks like Snow sensing some weakness over here. Gonna move towards this army once again. Start to pick off some of these Goliaths. The base down in center left is now mining. Another carrier gets picked off. Sharp diving a little bit far there. Try and deal that damage. Oh, the it's mined out there now in that third base. So looks like this command center will end up burning down, but the minerals at least mined out first. That's somewhat better, I guess, but she should absolutely heal that and then float it somewhere else. Oh my god, it is gonna burn down. Just 60 HP left over. Sharp pushing forward. All his energy and attention is focused on this battle, so he definitely gonna lose that. Good siege up here, but Snow just gonna back away again, picking off tanks, picking off tanks, and eventually there's gonna be no tanks left in this army. There's only 2 here, and the Dragoons should be able to take the fight against pure Goliath. 15 kill. There's the command center falling. Oh man. Oh, that's so painful. And there's the science vessel being focused down as well. All of the important units here for Sharp just getting massacred. And Snow falls back once again. No rush here to end this game. He knows that his carriers are just going to continue to scale and help him to just take this game. Tanks, 2 tanks being sent over this side. Not really getting much here for these 2 tanks, unfortunately, except for some lost mining time. Doesn't pick up the Nexus or anything. He's at 3-2 now, so his army is very strong. These Goliaths have 0-0, so Goliaths with 3-3 versus Dragoons with 0-0. I don't know how well they fare, but better than you know, everything was 0-0 for sure. Having that upgrade advantage has got to mean something here. Looks like the Goliaths trying to jump forward and actually kill some more of these carriers. I think 2 actually went down there, but GG is called. Snow takes that game. Pretty big comeback there from Snow. And he is going to go on to the final match. It's going to be a TVP final. Sharp carrying Terran this week. We'll see if Rush can finish off the job. Alright, well, it all comes down to this. Snow versus Rush, our final game of the night. Rush spawning down here in the bottom left. Snow in the top left. It'd be a great game here between these incredible players. Some of the strongest of their race right now. And definitely one of the strongest in this matchup, Snow. We'll see what he brings out today. Looks like a Nexus first. Okay. Nexus first has been really popular recently, and he's not even going to scout immediately after. That's surprising. I wonder if he just goes double gateway after this. He may end up going single gateway and then cross scout. Where is he going to send this scout here? I'm really interested to see. Like he will send it southward. And he's going to end up finding his opponent down here in the bottom left. I wonder if he actually builds that second gateway now that he sees this build. He's so lucky to actually get this scout right off the bat. Rush is going in the completely wrong direction here, and since he's sent his SCV down to the bottom right, it is the longest travel distance possible for this SCV to eventually scout top left, and that's just the luck of the draw, guys. It has nothing to do with the skill of these two players, but Rush is going to be behind basically no matter what. I don't know if you can actually pull off a rush from this position. I guess we'll find out if he just builds or just continues to build Marines here, pull some SCVs, and sends that first Vulture across the map. Maybe he can break this. It still will be tough. There we go. The SCVs have been pulled. He sees the single gateway. And a cannon gonna start here at the front. Oh god, cannon. I didn't even see that forge actually. But this cannon completely denies this attack here. There's no way that this is gonna work if the cannon ends up finishing. Marines, SCVs, and Vultures are terrible against cannon. Cannon just wrecks them completely. A great surround here as well with these probes. Oh my god, the cannon's gonna finish. I think we're gonna end up seeing a Protoss victory this game. And this week, all of the SCVs have to head on back home. Rush is so incredibly far behind now. Oh god. What a result here. That was not the anticipated, the expected result that I was thinking of when I saw that Nexus first. Throwing down that forge, though, turns out to be a brilliant play here for Snow. What does Rush do at this point, man? I guess you could build a dropship, right? If you put down a starport right now, can you get a dropship across here and drop before there's an overwhelming number of Dragoons in the main base? I guess not. He's not going for that. He's just going to build a tank here. Maybe send that across the map. Get siege mode right away. He doesn't have a bunker here. Maybe a long drawn-out push here. Yeah, four SCVs actually coming out and heading across the map. He is going to bunker up and try to push this cannon position. Four gateways are down. There's going to be a ton of gateway units out here very, very soon. That tank sieges up. He has the SCVs ready actually for the repair rather than for a bunker here, which is a little bit surprising to me. But I guess you really need the repair here on this tank. He's going to try and focus it down. 4 SCVs on the tank, 5 SCVs on the tank, but it's not enough. 4 Dragoons take that down rather quickly. And looks like this other tank will end up going down as well. All of the Marines fall. That's why I thought a bunker would be so much better. If you have a bunker in that situation, those Marines survive a lot longer. They can end up doing a lot more DPS, and you might actually be able to hold on to that position. Unfortunately, though, he loses that spot. He loses all of the Marines. He's got 2 tanks left over here. Looks like almost able to pick off that Dragoon, but this is basically unlosable now for Snow. We're going to have to run back up the ramp. These Dragoons just going to track down this siege tank, running it up onto high ground. Gets lucky there with the shots up on the high ground. Manages to hit a bunch of those and kills off the tank there. Oh my god. He's going to come up this ramp as well. So crazy. There goes the next tank, and the last tank gonna fall here. I think you just GG. Like, is Rush really gonna try and stay in this game after losing all of those tanks and being this far behind? I guess he might as well. But really, there's no chance of coming back from this position. It's going to be a Protoss victory. Terran going to come in second place. I think it's been a very long time now since Protoss got anything but last place in KCM. At least this season, so Snow actually managing to bring it back, pretty impressive. But is it not going to make a huge difference in the grand scheme of things? So this is so pathetic, come on. Oh my god, these Range Dragoons just moving a little bit out of range. He's gonna siege up here once again. These Dragoons running forward here on the right-hand side. A Wraith there, for whatever reason. GG is called. And Rush finally does tap out. Alright, I don't know about you guys, but that was not the final game that I was expecting. In the end, Zerg does go out first. I was honestly this week expecting to see Zerg versus Terran in the very final match to decide who was going to get that seed into the finals, but turns out Terran kind of gets it by default here. Protoss takes out Zerg first, then finishes off Terran in the end. Terran gets just 1 point for coming in second place and wins this season of ASL so far, at least, getting themselves that position in the finals. It'll have to be a Zerg versus Protoss semifinals, and whoever manages to take that is going to go up against Terran in the finals of this season. Guys, thank you so much for joining me this week. I hope you have a fantastic week. I know it's been, I guess, a little bit over a week since I got this last upload out. We're going to have those semifinals coming up very, very soon. Easter weekend is coming. I'm not sure if they celebrate that in Korea, but if they do, we might end up having to take a little bit longer of a vacation here from KCM, and we'll come back afterwards and finish it off. Guys, have an awesome day. I'll see you in the next video.